Post-game here at the Joel and Diane Bloom Wellness and Events Center. Drew Casey with head coach Mike Lane of NJIT women's basketball. Coach, a tough loss, three-pointer at the buzzer to try and force overtime against UMass Lowell. What were your takeaways from today?
I think the first thing was just the defensive effort. You're just not going to win conference basketball giving up 70 points. We've now done that in 2 games. Scoring 67 should get you a win. I don't think we were strong down the stretch, certainly in the fourth quarter, only scoring 10 points. But it's still got to be defense. You got to rely on the defense, and we just could not rely on that today. We never really got any momentum defensively where we stacked any stops up together. Had some momentum there in the second quarter, and then same thing. We just let them get a little bit too in range there at the end of the half, and then just could not find stops. And again, unfortunately, things that I think we could have stopped and should have stopped. It's one thing if somebody comes out of nowhere, but we knew that Worley could shoot. We knew that Millie was going to be able to score all over the floor. We just didn't have the effort to shut that down today.
In terms of the offense, it's something that you've expressed a little concern about over the past couple of weeks and maybe even a month or so. You put 67 up. That must feel good, especially that second quarter when I think you scored 28.
Yeah. I don't like the first and the fourth, unfortunately, and we were a little bit of new identity today, so to do that with 67 points was pretty good. A lot of it was choppy early. We weren't on the same page. I thought that got better throughout the game. So again, I thought there was a certain flow that we had at times, which was great. And we'll grow into that a little bit more, which I thought was a real positive for us. Again, 67 points. We left some points out there. Obviously, I thought we let them be physical with us. I don't think we had strong finishes at times. I thought we were getting bumps but falling away. That's not a way to earn a whistle. And so we only went to the line 3 times in the second half after going there 12 times in the first half. And I think that really hurt us, just not getting those easy buckets, obviously, at the free throw line. So pleased with the offense. There's still some things to work on there, but that offensive effort, you want to get a W scoring 67 points, and unfortunately it just wasn't there.
Down the stretch of the game, there was a possession maybe with 30 seconds to go or so. I think you were down 1, and maybe a timeout was coming, maybe it wasn't, and then the acceleration, and you seemed to almost catch UMass Lowell off guard. Was that the intent in that sequence?
Yeah, no, I didn't want the timeout. We don't want to set it up. We're not sideline out of bounds puts a lot of pressure. They weren't putting any backcourt pressure on. We got Ale in the open court with a good screen because the defense is thinking the same thing. Is there a timeout coming? I just think that was a tough shot. I would have liked. There was a couple of those today. It just wasn't a great angle. I know she can make that.
Yeah.
So you take it, but I think that's the type of shot that we have to learn from. I thought there was a couple of those that we were just kind of fanning out instead of really kind of getting to the rim. So maybe we could have gotten a whistle there. I thought we had some time to play with there. So we had gotten the stop. I think they had the ball with 40 seconds left. We got an early stop because they didn't really bleed the clock as much. So that kind of went the way we wanted it to.
Okay.
Again, we just didn't get that shot up as well as we would have liked, I'm sure, as well as Ale would have liked.
Lizzie Litwinko able to return to the floor for the first time in 8 games since Thanksgiving, practically, against the Hofstra game. Only 14 minutes, but did make an impact, scored some buckets. Got to be nice to have her back.
Right, great to have her back. I'm sure she's going to be happy to be back. I'm sure she's going to be disappointed with the loss, but just means a lot to our team. I think our teammates are glad to see her back on the floor, and we're just trying to get her in there at the right time. A lot of high leverage situations today that was tough for her, but again, she was out there on the floor in the fourth quarter because she's been practicing. It's not limited in any way like that, and so it's just good, especially that bucket that she got, tough bucket in the paint. I think that will really get her going now. I think we have her kind of full tilt hopefully now.
And the last thing, Vermont coming up next. Vermont picked up a win down in Baltimore over UMBC right alongside this game. It's a quick turnaround like always, but you got a couple extra hours with the morning game.
Yep.
But what is tomorrow, and what is the early look at Vermont?
Yeah, and we know how good Vermont is, and obviously they were the champions last year. They got a lot of pride. They have very good players. It's again, we have to stop some individual players. We got to show some defensive pride as a unit, but also as an individual, just shutting a kid down. That's been happening a little bit in some games where kids are getting their average or getting more than their average. So we gotta take that personally, I think. And just really kind of dig in. And so Vermont's going to be a challenge, especially with only one day of prep. So it's, jumping at that. It's Coach Gratch's baby here, and he'll get us ready tomorrow. And then we roll it out on, early Saturday. So it's a little bit of some hours here because it's an 11 a.m. tip. But that 1 o'clock start will come pretty quick on Saturday.
Saturday at 1, NJIT and Vermont. Head coach Mike Lane sharing his thoughts following a UMass Lowell win 70-67 here at the WEC. We'll see you on Saturday.